Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Arizona Cardinals. With that, let's get out to the desert. Standing by in Glendale, here are Brandon Gotton and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Yeah, he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
But that's pretty much how they teach as a DB. Hit him and have some force with it. Yet he still caught the football and got the yardage he needed.
A little deflating.
Very much so.
Defensively.
Yeah, because you're trying to police up that area, and you don't want them to come in there, and you're hoping some good hard tackles will keep them out of there. In this case, he just said it, he just shrugged it off and went ahead and got what he needed.
All right, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line.
On 1st and 10, Bowman. Dumping it off for Johnson. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
To throw on 2nd down, Bowman. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And here are the offensive starters for Arizona.
David Johnson's play has forced us to talk about him as one of the premier running backs in the NFL. Good size, so he can run inside and break through some tackles. Also has excellent speed, so he can get to the perimeter, turn the corner, and make it into a big gain. But he also relies on the fact that he was a college wide receiver at one point, and they can utilize him both out of the backfield and in the slot back position in order to get downfield and catch the football.
Back to throw. Bowman. And he's got Moncrief. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 18 yards there and a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in, and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 30.
Looking to throw on second down. Bowman. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
Here we go now.
They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And he spins away. And a great move again. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play that time for Cleveland. 74 yards.
How about our reigning AFC Player of the Week, hot-footing it into the secondary on that run?
Yeah, nice long run. That's what got him the award a week ago. Maybe he's trying for 2 in a row here this week. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Looking to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Mike Gesicki, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Point after, right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They go play action here on first down. And he finds Tyler Kroft. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 67 yards.
You think the head coach and the offensive coordinator are able to pull the earplugs out now? Because all week, all they heard was, you know, Coach, they can't guard the pass at all. I mean, they're next to last in the league. Let's throw it on every down.
Yeah, last week we saw the numbers. This week going against second to last in the pass defense area. Good for him. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
All right, here we go.
Looking to throw. Bowman. Caught on the right side by Jones. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Johnson for the counter. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, a trick. Does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
All right, here we go. Green.
To throw on second down. Bowman throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Well, that'll get him to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Set. Green, 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Hey. Set. Green, 39.
Off the play fake. Bowman. And the pressure gets to him again. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
The current formula's not working right now. And he finds a man on the crossing route. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3, get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense that they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. He's going to go down immediately. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Mayfield to throw it this time. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's Jones. Jones breaking from the contact. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. The Browns defense getting ready. And they've created a major first-half storyline with the pressure they've been able to create.
And I know that the good teams adjust from series to series. They make their adjustments on the sideline before they go back out. In this case, I think they might need a little bit more time. They want to get to the half and start figuring out how do they change protections, how do they get the ball in the hands of the passer a lot quicker, make sure he doesn't get hit as often, all those different things. Maybe even run the ball a little bit more. Anything to try and tamp down the pressure.
Throwing on first down, Bowman. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
Mayfield is going to lead this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good pickup there on first as a screen pass gets him 8. He's fresh off that 3-touchdown performance last week that got him AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So you know that he was already on their radar. Now he's maybe even a bigger plane on their radar.
Bigger plane. I mean, he is the big dot on that screen that they're looking at and saying, how in the heck do we stop him? They're going to try a bunch of different things, different people covering him. But right now, he's locked in and is in sync with his quarterback.
And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line. It's the tight end. It's your wide receivers. Everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job. They'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And an alley to run. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Their mobile quarterback with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Browns add on to their lead. He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. One with the arm, one with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to. Point after, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. So 1 quarter in the books here on Christmas Eve. 14-3, that's our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Fancy footwork at the 45. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
The Cardinals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go.
From the gun, Bowman. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start... plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now this time he'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play.
All right, here we go.
Mayfield to throw it. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Bowman underneath for Johnson. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. So down inside the 5-yard line, I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
They'll give it to Mixon, and he takes this one in for a Brown score. A great effort there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Going to throw right side here, complete. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Green 39! Green 39!
A first down carry here for Johnson. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now it's his carry for Johnson. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a third and about 9 to go.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down. Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage.
Now let's go! Blue 90!
On third down, Bowman throwing for his running back. He's got him complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half. More from the desert after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go! One!
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way in touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. On first down, Bowman. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Looking to throw on second down. Bowman. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but how about them just taking it big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go!
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Gone!
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Gun!
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Now a handoff, Johnson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in everyone to this Christmas Eve edition of the EA Sports Halftime Report. So let's get to it. We'll start our tour out in the city of Angel, Los Angeles. And that one tied 14 apiece in the second quarter. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Andrew Luck has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Tennessee Titans. 17-10, the final score. In the game you're watching, it's been Baker Mayfield with a strong first half. His guys have a 3-touchdown lead as we're about ready to go into the second half. And to get you through it, we give it back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken.
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Come on, let's go!
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Anytime a defense can... back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards,
stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 30.
To throw on second down. Bowman. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. He spins free. Got some room at the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's a pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows the offensive line's going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs.
Now let's go.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And that's going to be incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Green 39.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bowman. And the grab by Croft. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Green 39. Green 39.
Off play action. Bowman. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals cut into that lead. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
No real hesitation from Anthony Lynn. They're going to go for 2.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. Bowman. And he floated one out there incomplete.
They attempted to fade to the back corner of the end zone unsuccessfully. And I've been with you long enough, Brandon. I know that's not one of your favorite calls.
Well, it's interesting. Before working with you, I always viewed that as you're just taking away space and you're trapping yourself in a corner. But you actually have told me they're trying to create space where space is not.
Yeah, it's really it's a weird deal, isn't it? But you've got to just move that defender inside to create that separation and that little bit of space where there just isn't much.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They go with the option on 4th down, left side. And now running right through it, taking it right down Broadway. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. How about that? Their quarterback, 57 yards. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Well, plays like that make the O coordinator look like a genius, but I don't think he saw that play going that well.
No, I don't think so either. But, boy, it all worked out perfectly. They caught them in the right defense. Guys dropping off into coverage, their eyes averted somewhere else. And guess what? He filled the void with his legs.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. No problem there on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Just a 4-play drive that time. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Off the play fake. Bowman. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Set, 3-19.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be a quick point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Second down, here's an option right. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And that is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Here we go now.
To throw on second down. Bowman. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning,
and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way.
Mixon hit, and the ball is out. But I think Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. But a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Got four down.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That'll be a gain of 16, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Browns on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and pick it up by running the action to the right. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll go with a keeper. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Four down. Check.
Room to run past midfield. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Their mobile, agile quarterback, 62 yards. And the Browns are pouring it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here?
The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10.
Blue line it. Blue line it.
To throw again, Bowman. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 16. Looking to throw. Bowman. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now it's right. Whoosh. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now the Browns coming out on the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Right back to him on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Oh!
Still going. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down.
I'd sure love to offer some advice to the defensive coordinator, but his guys are just getting run over by an offense that's executing like a well-oiled machine.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. It's their quarterback taking it in. And the Browns continue to roll. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense, if that fell harmlessly to the ground. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Bowman. It's caught. Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 14 yards there at a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Still fighting for... There he goes, right side. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. To throw again. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
After the sack, 3rd and goal now from the 12.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
From the gun, Bowman. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Tajay Sharp, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals are able to make things a bit more respectable.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs. I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
All right, here we go.
Again, it's Mixon. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, Mayfield throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now. There's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, run in the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
They'll go option to the short side. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound Brandon no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
Throwing to start the drive. Bowman completes it to Moncrief left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Operating from the gun. Bowman. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Back to throw. Bowman into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
And it's a fumble. And this is recovered by the Cardinals. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
That's complete to Sharp. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Bowman. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. The left side completion to Jones. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. From the gun on 3rd down, Bowman. And that is incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence,
that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
All right, here we go.
They begin with a run by Mixon. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. Pushing through the contact. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The offense on 3rd down tonight, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, it's another win for them, and you wonder if they want a redo on that 1 loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they'll be guaranteed a finish of no better than 500 as they drop to 7-8. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.